Regardless of how we got there, we got there. And you don't have a passport. Good morning. I mean, girl. What time of day is it? Good evening. It's late as actually.
We look like we going to the places.
Yeah, definitely.
I hate that.
Good evening, beautiful people. Milani Maj here, and I'm back with another video. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you're old, welcome back. And as always, thank y'all so much for supporting me. For those of you that don't know, I'm a flight attendant, if you're new here, for a major U.S. airline based in Atlanta, Georgia. However, on our way to Amsterdam, in case I haven't introduced that yet, we're in Amsterdam celebrating my little sister's 23rd birthday, which is tomorrow in about 2 hours. Y'all hear her? Yeah, so we're in Amsterdam for that. However, to get here, we took quite a journey. We were gonna fly through Detroit. Detroit didn't work out because we couldn't get to Detroit, even though the flights from Detroit to Amsterdam were wide open, and we were very much looking forward to hopefully, I gotta check that night to see if they ended up getting the D1 seats.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check just to see, but we was gonna try for D1. D1 is my airline's version of our transoceanic first class with the lie flat seats, champagne, good food, you know, the works. So I really wanted to give her that experience, but we weren't able to get it this time. We're gonna try again on the way back, but like I was saying, it was looking really, really good for us out of Detroit. However, we couldn't get from Atlanta to Detroit because flight attendants fly standby is the whole thing. But out of Minneapolis, there were a few options. However, some, you know, paying passengers, and we love y'all because you keep me in business. So thank you for keeping me in my position. Some paying passengers got upgrades to those seats, and we ended up getting those passengers' original seats, which were in the premium select section. So that's cool. It's still the second tier, I guess, out of the 4 tiers of cabins available on the aircraft that we flew today. So it was cool. It was still a very nice experience. Glassware, white linens, you know, the work. So good stuff. Anyway, I say all that to say for the people that are interested in like the flight attendant aspect of that, I have gotten multiple questions about if I fly standby when I'm traveling, doing all my international leisure travel and all of that. I absolutely fly standby. If you watched one of my last videos when I was going to Bali, or the video before Bali, I did non-rev all the way to Bali. That is non-revenue travel. That's not paying travel, but it means that I don't have a confirmed seat. Again, that means I'm flying standby. I did fly standby all the way from Atlanta to Bali. In the meantime, I had to stop in South Korea, and I have a video all about that and my standby experience with that if that's something that you're interested in. However, today, I didn't focus on the traveling aspect. I didn't really start vlogging until we got here. Once we got here, I think we landed around 10 a.m. right now?
Yeah.
About 10 a.m.
Yep.
We landed here. We cleared customs, y'all, in like 5 minutes, if that. Caught an Uber straight to our hotel / Airbnb. It's boutique apartments, but they're all for short-term rental. None of them are available. Like, there's no long-term leases in this building, if that makes sense. They were all created solely for the purpose of like Airbnb style. So we found it on Airbnb, and then when we got here, we're like, oh, this is like a hotel, and it's like not really a hotel, but kind of, I don't know. Anyway, I have the link for it below because like I'm so far at least really enjoying this place, and it's really nice and it has great views. I'll insert the clips that I took earlier of the full little room tour of our little studio apartment because it's really giving. Anyway, took an Uber from the airport all the way to the hotel, checked in and dropped our bags. However, we weren't able to check in officially and get the keys to our room until 3 o'clock. So in the meantime, we stopped at, I think it's called Noordermarkt, which is a Sunday and Monday only pop-up thrift shop in like the city center. So we checked that out. I ended up not buying anything, but they have stuff for everybody, like whatever you want, jewelry, tapestry, coats, fur coats, by the way, some knockoff designer, like whatever it is that you're looking for, baby, they got it. So we went there. We went to, what's it called? Foodhallen?
Yep.
Foodhallen, which is like a huge food hall. And when I tell y'all the food was busted, I'm going to insert some clips right here. What do you say? Okay, yeah. So that food, so So good. So Foodhallen, really good. Highly recommend. You can get food literally probably from all over the world in that one little spot. And we just picked a bunch of different dishes from different stands that were available in there and tried a little bit of everything along with some sparkling wine because why not? And then finally came back, checked into our room. I took a fat nap. We got our makeup done. Shout out to Lydia. I'll have her information below if you ever happen to find yourself in Amsterdam and you need a makeup artist. This is the girl. Love her, so sweet, so professional, and we support Black businesses over here. So yeah, that's everything that you missed. And now let's get into the evening and let's really enjoy Amsterdam for the next, what, like 3 days or something. Let's go.
Make a call, make a bong, 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 make a call, make a cheap, but the bong, bong, bong.
Happy birthday!
Kilo fat, I'm a dead chocolate, fine, fine, no bucket, watch your love for like it, why not more,
Come on now, come on. Remember how he was? Girl, there ain't no damn way. Ooh, child. They got her. Beautiful people. Last night was a night. It was a night. As y'all can see, we skipped dinner and went straight to dessert. And by dessert, I mean Casamigos. Don't know how that happened, but it was cool. We went straight to Club Noir. It's like an Afro beats club out here. Mondays are ladies' night, so we enjoyed that. It was pretty dead in there, but we had a good time. And then came back here and ordered like some fast food, like burgers and stuff like that, and just called it a night. Today, yeah, we didn't wake up until probably like, I don't know, 12, 1, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. It's currently 4 and we're about to go get some breakfast. Luckily for us, there's a lot of all-day breakfast spots, like hot spots here in Amsterdam, and one of them is called PANCAKES.Amsterdam. There's like 5 or 6 locations around, and one of them is only a 10-minute walk from us, and they don't close for another hour and a half. So that will be our first stop. Then we're just gonna kind of do some shopping. There's another thrift shop here that is open like on all the other days of the week. I think all days except for Sunday or something like that. So we're gonna check that out. Probably a little bit of Primark, a little bit of Zara, because when in Europe, hello. And maybe some tattoos, I don't know. We'll just see where the wind blows. Today is my sister's actual birthday, so the world is her oyster. And yeah, I just wanted to give y'all a proper introduction into day 2 because the closeout of day 1 simply didn't happen. But it's been a really great day so far. And it's a sunny day as opposed to yesterday was really cloudy. But sunny don't mean hot here because it's still only 40 degrees and pretty windy. But that's okay. Let's go.
I gave you all you need. I know what you like. I feel it coming. Time is up to guess. I try to need you, but I need some love.
All right, through the streets of Amsterdam. So let's have a conversation about being Black in Europe.
Girl, first of all, we just left PANCAKES.Amsterdam. Let's start there. The savory Dutch pancakes, 10 out of 10. I highly recommend them. My food was good, my sister's food was good. It's good. So if you're American, stay away. Like, they have American pancakes for those of y'all picky eaters and stuff. But try the Dutch pancakes. They're delicious. Sweet options and savory options both available. And I'm sure they're both good, but we were both got savory. So yeah, there's that. We're making it right here.
Making it right. And where are we headed? To the thrift shop.
Yes, I hope. It closes at 6. Our ETA is 5:30.
Okay, that's enough time to get something done. But every corner you turn, I just want to take a picture.
No, do this later.
Okay.
This is
Yo.
like this.
Oh, this is the. Oh, no. I don't want to take a picture here. Sorry.
They ain't working yet.
But anyway, so the looks, the stares, the insults. First of all, y'all are gonna see it earlier on in the vlog, but it was a car while we was waiting for the tram. that rode past us and screamed out something. I don't know what he said, but it was like block, but it was like in a negative, like angry tone.
Yeah, Black Power.
That was like an insult.
He was black.
No, he was white.
Oh, I don't either.
And Milan turns around and goes, Black Power. Because she thought, and I was like, girl, like he was not, that wasn't nothing nice. But like at most people are, what do you say, most people are friendly, I think.
They're friendly. They just like are amazed that
Yeah.
2 young black girls.
And they
are
can
just
always
walking
tell
around
you're
here.
American though.
And that too,
That's
yeah.
the thing. I don't know what it
Even
is.
at the Foodhallen yesterday when we were getting our food, I walked up just to order a nice cod nugget. I walked up to order my food. He said, American?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw y'all. We said that you guys were American. I'm like, what? Can I order my nugget?
So I don't know if it's the lashes, the nails, the hair, the outfit. We try to dress like pretty
Bye.
local, but they can always,
Like the locals make a left.
okay, they can always tell.
It's day 3 and our last and final day here in Amsterdam. It's been really real. Yesterday, like I said, it was my sister's actual birthday, so we were kind of just going with the flow, doing whatever. Today, however, we are doing all the touristy things that people, I feel, come to Amsterdam to actually do, including a canal cruise and the Anne Frank Museum, which I'm very excited about. We have a couple hours until then. So instead of, I don't know, going to get breakfast or something like a normal person, we're gonna go try to make a little bit of like custom jewelry. There's a few options here in Amsterdam as far as like jewelry and bead shops, where I think at most of them you can make like charm bracelets and necklaces custom. You pick your chain, you pick your charms, then you sit down and you actually make the jewelry. We looked at the reviews for 3, I'm not sure if there's more, Beadsies and Bedazzled. Both had comments in the reviews about some sort of discrimination. I'm not exactly sure what that was referring to, if it was about being American, if it was about being French, if it was about being black, but I'm not here to test the theory. All y'all had to say was discrimination or racism, anything like that. I read that and it was over and done with. So we're gonna skip those, Beadsies and Bedazzled, and go straight to Coppenhagen. I called them this morning, they sound very nice. And I confirmed that we could buy and make all of our jewelry right there in store before our first stop, which will be the, what's our first stop? Is it the Canal cruise? Yeah. Okay, our first stop before the Canal cruise, and then that will be followed by the Anne Frank Museum. So yeah, just about ready. Let me grab my bag. So yeah, that's that, and that will be our first stop. I'm excited about it. Also, I think yesterday I mentioned that we might be getting tattoos. We do want to get matching sister tats, but it won't be here, because one thing about Amsterdam, it's gonna be expensive for a tattoo. Like anything you get, like one word, one image, one letter, starting at $60 just seems a little bit excessive to me. And then when you add what we wanted to get and where we want to get it and all of that, like the prices just go up from there. And I don't know, but they do $10 tattoos in Vegas. So when they said, oh, starting price is $60, and then it kind of goes up from there, based on what we was trying to do, it just wouldn't immediately know. I also want to say that I'm gonna bring you guys along throughout the day as opposed to just doing the recap at the end of the day. But speaking of recaps, yesterday was cool. What's the name of our place? Cannibale Royale was a good restaurant. They're known for their burgers and their steaks. We got a fat tomahawk, and you know Europeans don't season their food, so it's not gonna be, you know, seasoned bust down, but it was good. Their steak knife's a little dull. But what would you say, like 3.8?
Yeah.
somewhere in there. Like I can't give it a full 4 stars because there are better restaurants that I've been to in Europe and America or whatever that get a solid 4 from me. So I had to deduct a point and some change for the service, for the dog knives, for the lack of flavor, but you know.
You too. All right, guys, we made it to our first stop, which is the Coppenhagen Kralen beads.
Cause I walk around with the bank on him. Show them Gangnam Style, put the gang on him. Twist my fingers up on a bang on him. Lele oh, yeah. Tobalo ako macho, yeah. Tobalo mako macho, yeah. Nobody know tomorrow. Choro ka choro. And if a boy feel macho, make him lick red like a tomato. If him not dead, then he comatose. No go fambo.
Okay, so that was our visit to Coppenhagen Kralen beads. We're gonna go back a little bit later to pay and pick them up. They are actually gonna make the bracelets for us, I believe, because we were running tight on time due to our canal cruise. But we just took our boat over to the canal to catch our pure boat. And here she is. Excuse us.
Going up right on time.
Which is late.
I
Are you
was
guys American?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we on?
Oh, are we
Yeah.
all?
American?
Oh, we're all American.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Where are you guys from?
California.
Okay.
You're not drinking?
Prost.
No drinking and driving.
Afterward, in the 70s, when everybody started to live on the water. But it got really, really messy. Because there was double parking, and they also weren't connected to the sewage system. So that got really dirty, and then they started to regulate it. So they gave out 2,000 permits, and there's still that many today. So if you want to really own a houseboat yourself, you first have to buy a permit from somebody who already owns it. But the current market price for owning the permit is already around 400,000 euros. And then you don't even own the boat yet. So the boat is usually the cheapest part of the houseboat. But you can also rent one if you like to live in it for a couple of months, for example.
This is bougie. That's where we need to stay.
So dope. What a life.
It's from the, because Amsterdam was built on a swamp,
Okay.
and therefore was built on
Look at the
millions
Bible.
of wooden oak poles for they use that as foundation. But sometimes these poles start to rot, and then the house will tilt. Yeah, so the foundation will just sink. And now all the poles are checked regularly if there's like rotting or something. But in that time, that was not the case. So then the house will shift or tilt.
Very cool to know.
It was really a challenge for the future.
So you'll
because
see
at one
them.
point,
You can see
all these poles need to
where
be
that was tilted.
I realized it the first time in the hotel, the craftsman.
Yeah.
I was in the room and I realized I was the window wasn't straight.
Yeah. That's strange.
The whole room wasn't straight.
Or did you eat something else?
No, that
Confusion.
That was the
confusion.
was the case. That's why I needed to make sure it's actually a thing.
On the left is one of my favorite houseboats.
See the tilted houses, Tammy? Look.
That's really cool.
Look, now it makes sense.
Look how yeah, they're
Ironically,
8 years of my life. 8 years of my life. Oh my goodness.
You were really
I
telling
knew
the
it.
truth the whole time.
but ironically, only
not
one of
just
the dancing houses
Literally,
standing
you're
right
paying
off.
for a hotel that's so expensive. It's tilted. I love that. And you said maybe it's something you took, huh? It was both. Yeah, it was both.
Did you guys go to a coffee shop?
Of course.
Oh, yes.
So the water level
Let me see.
were higher on that side and lower on this side. And what they would do, they would just you would go drive your boat in, and then they would lower or higher the water level for you, so that you continue your journey. Luckily, everything is the same level right now. Otherwise, this tour would take 4 hours. And these locks and also some other bridges were operated by some bridge houses, but these bridge houses aren't used anymore. So now they started a project to turn all these bridge houses into Airbnbs.
You can sleep here.
You can sleep.
No way.
That's what it says right there.
I knew
Dream
the sleep
big,
tiny
sleep
had to
tiny.
mean.
Dream big, sleep tight.
I wish I was that type of traveler that could just like do like hostels.
That would be good. That would be cool.
This
but
little
the
thing is
problem
an Airbnb. Wow.
Walking here every time.
Once a rich
That
house, now
alone
a
is an
B&B.
experience at
Sleep
night.
here.
You know?
Yeah.
On the left we have the Science Museum. It's called Nemo. This is really, really fun. I think it's a core memory of every child in the Netherlands to go there with your class. To go there. And it's really interactive, that you can do a lot of it yourself, a lot of experiments. It's also really fun to go to as an adult. So if you have a spare afternoon, I would really recommend you going there.
They
also
let
have
in
a nice
anyone.
rooftop bar.
The
Sorry?
university part.
No, in the Science
The
Museum.
Science Museum.
Yeah,
Oh.
I heard rooftop bar, so.
And it's actually below the water level. So we damped this water out for a few years, then built a bike parking lot, and then we let the water run over it again. So that people just get right from under the water level.
Wow.
How many bikes are in the bike parking lot?
I think it can stick up to 5,000 or something.
Oh wow.
5,000. The city bikes.
What is it like?
Today.
Okay.
Is that right? Yesterday? Yeah.
Great.
Happy birthday!
Oh. Sorry, we don't know.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Your evening.
Yes.
You guys, what a 10. If you watch my last Amsterdam vlog, you will see that I did the Lovers Canal cruise. This was like 20 times more luxurious. I must say, Rick was our guide.
10 out of 10.
He was so engaging. He's so nice. Open bar, wine and cheese. Like, I couldn't ask for anything. I couldn't ask for anything else. I really couldn't. I'm a little tipsy, I ain't gonna lie. But we're about to head.
Pictures while we have time?
Yeah, around the corner to the Anne Frank Museum, Anne Frank House Museum, whatever. But I guess in the meantime, we're gonna take some pictures, maybe grab like a bite to eat or a coffee or something, because as y'all know, we haven't eaten for real today at all.
Yeah, I wanna go this way.
And yeah, but moving forward, this is the Canal Cruise boat tour that I will forever recommend. Pure Boats Amsterdam, love it, and I will be doing it again in the summer when I come to Amsterdam for an open boat tour. But the boat that you get kind of changes or will change depending on the weather and the amount of people that have booked the tour for that time slot. It was 2 hours, and again, totally worth it. Currently walking to, are we going to Anne Frank? Do you know? Or are you just walking?
I'm kind of just walking.
Child, she just walking aimlessly.
It's 3:21, so we might as well head.
Yeah, they said be early.
Yeah, they said be on time because it will leave. We will start our tour without you.
Yeah.
It's no problem. I was like, well,
So we
then.
did the 30-minute add-on for the, what is it called? Verbal introduction? Something like that. Where they give you like an introduction
Oh,
of
I
the
actually
museum.
like this one.
And then, I know. And then you, I'm
okay,
a good photographer. Okay.
One thing about you, you're going to eat the ant.
One thing about me. And then after the 30-minute introduction of the tour, we explored the museum itself. My camera is dying. I did not bring an extra battery, so I will be continuing to vlog on my phone. However, in the museum itself, allegedly, apparently, all of that, they are very strict, and no pictures or videos are allowed, which I completely understand. So.
Democrats, communists, against people with disabilities, against Sinti and Roma, against people of color, against queer people, so people who are homosexual or transgender. All of these people did not fit into the Nazi ideology of what a German should look like, and all of these people were also later on killed in concentration camps. This came to a peak in an event that we nowadays call the November Pogrom. Maybe you will know it under its older name, the Kristallnacht, or the Night of Broken Glass. Now, we don't use that term as much anymore, but the November Pogrom was one night in 1938 where the Nazis stormed Jewish-owned shops and homes, completely destroyed them, robbed and assaulted Jewish people, and also in that night, all over Germany, synagogues, so Jewish prayer rooms, were burnt. One of the synagogues that was completely destroyed that night is the one in Aachen where Otto and Edith married each other. Then, of course, on the 1st September 1939, the Nazis invaded Poland, which officially started the Second World War here in Europe. Here in the Netherlands, however, the Second World War starts a little later on the 10th of May 1940, which is of course when the Nazis attacked. And as I mentioned before, the Dutch army had actually hoped to remain neutral. So when the Nazis attacked, they were not prepared whatsoever. Barely 1 year later, in 1941, the first anti-Jewish measures were introduced here in the Netherlands. That started with Jewish people having to register themselves. They then got a J stamped into their passports, which meant these people could no longer leave the country. The Yellow Star of David, which every Jewish person from the age of 6 and up had to wear on their clothing once they left the house. So now everybody could immediately recognize who is Jewish and who is not. Of course, now everybody could immediately recognize, is this person allowed to be in the cinema, to use the swimming pool, or just to buy chocolate? Of course, Otto and Edith realized very quickly the Netherlands was no longer safe for them, and they did try to leave the country once more. They applied with visas to the UK and to the US, but because they now had a J stamped into their passport, they were not able to leave the country. So they had to form a plan B, which of course was to go into hiding. And the plan was to go into hiding in the company buildings of Opekta, because here in Amsterdam there's over 1,000 annexes in the city center. So this one really wasn't suspicious, which needed a perfect hiding place. Plan was to go into hiding on the 16th of July 1942. However, a few days before that, a letter something like this arrived for Anne's sister. Now this is a call-up letter. Margot was supposed to register herself to be sent to a working camp in Germany. Underneath there was also a list with everything she had to bring to the station with her. For example, a suitcase, working clothes, a pair of socks, all stuff that suggested Margot would be gone for quite a while. Now of course, Otto and Edith did not know what these working camps were exactly, but they did know people who had been transported beforehand did not return. So it is very understandable. They did not want their 16-year-old daughter to be sent to work in Germany on her own. And they decided to go into the secret annex on the very next morning, the 6th of July 1942. At first it was only the Frank family, so only Edith, Otto, Margot and Anne. A week later, another family joins them, Hermann, Auguste and their son Peter. Now if you've read the diary, you may know these people under different names. Anne changed a lot of the names in her book to protect their identities. Their real name was Van Pels. They were also from Germany, also Jewish. And Hermann was a colleague of Otto Frank. He also worked in Opekta, so of course they knew each other and they planned the hiding place together. Then in November, the last person in hiding joins them, Fritz Pfeffer. He was also from Germany, also Jewish, and he was the dentist of one of the helpers. Because of course, these people still need supplies like food, medicine, and clothing. And for all of that, they asked the co-workers of Otto Frank for help. The four most important, Victor Kugler and Jo Kleinman, the two men that also took over Opekta earlier on, and Mipries and Bert Voskia, the two secretaries of Opekta. These rooms are not exactly big, and almost every step you take in the secret annex can be heard in the warehouses below. And of course, you have to think about the fact the people in hiding could never leave to go outside, they could not open windows, they had to be quiet during the days, and they were constantly afraid of being discovered. Anne, at the time of going into hiding, is only 13 years old. She can no longer see her friends. All she can do was, of course, write in her diary.
I'm still vlogging on my phone, so excuse the quality, but the Anne Frank Museum was... I liked it a lot. I liked it. I wasn't expecting much, but it was very enjoyable, and I appreciate the 30-minute introductory portion. So I mean, it's an extra $5-7 or something. I think it's worth adding on, because you got a lot of context, and then you could walk through with some fresh information as to what was going on at the moment. Now we're back at Coppenhagen Kralen Beads, which I didn't realize was so close, but it's all right. We caught an Uber over here for no reason. But we're back here. It's about 5:30. They close at 6. So we're back here to pick up our jewelry and pay for it and all of that. And then we'll probably find something on this strip or around here to grab something to eat and then call it a night for our final night and finally book our flight home, because that is something that we haven't done yet for tomorrow. So we moving a little scandalous. But what do you say, Nye?
Amsterdam was a 10 out of 10. It was my favorite over Portugal, which Portugal was my previous favorite out of Paris, Madrid, Portugal, and Amsterdam. Portugal was my favorite, but this took the cake.
Wow.
And it was a birthday trip too. Like, it was just, you ever had one of those trips where nothing goes wrong? Especially when it's your birthday, because I feel like when it's your birthday, you expect stuff to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing went wrong. And even like, okay, we missed the dinner, but I wasn't mad. I was having a ball, so it didn't matter. Like, 10 out of 10.
Shout out to Casamigos. Sponsor me if you see the second. But okay, so what was the highlight of your trip overall, would you say?
Ooh, the highlight of my trip, I can't.
Really?
I can't. The highlight? I can't. I don't have one favorite moment.
I think Pure Boats for me personally, because
Pure Boats was a vibe. Shout out
it
to our
was
group.
such a vibe. Our group was so great. Our tour guide was so great. And I've done a canal cruise before, but it didn't hit the same. So it was like a very pleasant, luxurious, dare I say. I feel like that word is so overused, but a luxury vibe as far as canal cruises go. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I left kind of lit, and you know,
I think this
I
is
have
the
no
first
complaints.
time where we made our itinerary and really hit
Everything we did.
Like, we hit everything.
Yeah, I agree. There's a couple restaurants that we missed out on, but overall, I feel like we just had a bunch of restaurants in general, and we're like, okay, well, when time allows, we'll try to visit these restaurants. And then same thing with the tattoo thing. Like, we can get a tattoo anywhere, anytime, honestly, but it was on the list of something to do in Amsterdam just to say we did it. But also, if the price ain't looking right, baby, I'm not about to spend $100 on a tattoo. I can give it $50, okay? I don't care how much money I make. Hello? So that didn't make any sense. Outside of that, we did everything that we came here to do.
We did. The Canal Cruise was dope, though.
Yeah, Canal Cruise was my
Pictures
top
came
tier.
on fire. Everything was
And
just
also,
fire.
speaking of that, when we were clearing customs, when we first arrived here, the customs agent was like, "Oh, this is a long flight for you from America for like an 8-hour flight for you from America for
3 days.
3 days just to stay in Amsterdam." And we're like, first of all, like it's free and we gonna do what we do. But also, I don't feel like
I'm done.
I don't feel like we missed out on anything. 3 days is plenty of time, I feel, to stay in Amsterdam, specifically. Now, there's other places, other countries, other cities, whatever that you can go to. But as far as Amsterdam in particular, 3 days is enough.
I'm done. Yeah.
There's nothing that I feel like, oh my God, I wish I would have. No, babe, I'm ready to go home tomorrow.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Me too.
Now, it'd be different if we was hopping over to Holland or something. Yeah. But we're not doing that. If you're city hopping, country hopping, I'm sorry, that's one thing. But because we're not, 3 days is plenty. Yeah, we took a long flight, but that long flight was enough. Yeah, it's time to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just waiting. It's kind of passing here, waiting on to get our bracelets. Then we're out of here, gonna get some dinner and head back to the hotel.
And I can put you in. I can put you in. Hop in her, throw up the sex in her. And I can put you in. I can put you in.
Hey, beautiful people, we're back in Atlanta after what, a 3.5-4 day trip to Amsterdam to celebrate my sister's birthday. My sister, if you're watching this, I hope that your 23rd year is nothing short of amazing and you get all of the things and accomplish all of the goals that your heart desires. So proud of you. I love you so much. Yeah, I just dropped her off to the airport to head back to Charlotte. But yeah, that concludes this trip. Just to fully recap everything for those of you that are interested in the flight attendant specific aspect of this trip, I work for a major US airline based in Atlanta, Georgia. My sister is my companion. Some people sell their companion pass and some people's companion is their best friend or their boyfriend, their whatever. Mine is my sister. So whenever I'm flying for free on my airline, she's flying for free on my airline. Domestically, both ways. It works for both of us. Internationally, on the way there it is free, but on the way back we do have to pay the international taxes and fees. That is not something that any airline can control. It's whatever the fee is to re-enter the United States from whatever that country. So that depends on what country you're traveling back into the United States from. For us coming from Amsterdam, it was $80 a piece. So I paid a total of $160 and some change. And as y'all saw, we ended up getting business class on the way back from Amsterdam on a straight flight to Atlanta, Georgia. So where some people were paying $6,000, $12,000 to ride in the seats that we were given almost essentially for free. The seat itself was free. What I had to pay for was the international taxes, $160 divided by the two of us, $80 a piece for that business class international flight, and it was totally worth it. And I'm so glad that we could end the trip, her birthday trip, in that way. We couldn't have asked for a better finale, if you will. We did try to chase business class on the way to Amsterdam as well. The flights straight from Amsterdam straight from Atlanta into Amsterdam weren't looking too good as far as seats in general, but especially business class. So we were going to fly to Detroit. I'm sorry, my dishwasher is going. But we were going to fly to Detroit, but the flights from Atlanta to Detroit weren't looking too good, even though the flight from Detroit to Amsterdam was wide open with double-digit business class seats. So I'm sure that we would have cleared and we would have been given business class on the way to Amsterdam from Detroit, but we just weren't going to gamble with trying to get to Detroit. So we flew to Minneapolis instead, which did have 2 or 3 business class seats available, but there were some people that upgraded from the premium select cabin into the business class cabin. 2 or 3 of them, I can't remember. So they, of course, paying customers, got those business class, I keep wanting to say the airline, business class upgrades, and then we ended up in their original seats, which were in the second cabin or the premium select cabin, which is still really nice, but nothing beats the D1 experience, if I do say so myself. So yeah, all in all, it was a really good trip. I'm so glad that I was able to afford my sister this experience for her birthday. If you're still watching, it's a little late now, but we just wish her a happy belated birthday in the comments. And speaking of being able to afford her this experience, obviously we're not talking about monetarily, but my job affords me the luxury of travel. And I've heard some discord about the only reason that she's able to do this is because of her airline or because she's a flight attendant or whatever. And I want to speak on that really quick. That is not new information. So to the family members or the associates that have something to say about it, I'm a little bit confused because that's literally the whole point. I've said it 100 times over that I'm not in this career for the money. I'm in this career for the experience. And when I chose it, I kind of chose it on a whim because I was done with college. I just wanted to travel. I wanted to do something, whatever. And now 6 years and 3 airlines later, I'm still in it because the lifestyle and the career in the airline that I chose offers me the ability to live the lifestyle and travel as much and as often as I do, gifts me the option to do so just by showing up to work a couple days a month. I'm not giving that up. Why would I? And I understand because the people that it's coming from are people that have never left their city. I am 27, I had to think about it. I'm 27 years old, I've lived in 6 states, I've visited 30 countries, and I'm not saying, oh my God, I'm the most well-traveled millennial Gen Z, I don't even know what I am. But I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I do it because I can and because it's something that I enjoy. But the discourse is coming from people that have never left their hood. So you, as a grown adult who has never stepped foot out of the city limits of the city in which you were born, feels the need to bring up the fact that my sister and I travel as much as I do just because of my job, as if it's some sort of dig, just to make yourself feel better or diminish the light on the fact that we're traveling and you're not. And I had to remember that before it pissed me off who the conversations are coming from. Who are the people speaking? People that have never been anywhere. So of course you feel the need to have to minimize or diminish what it is that we're doing. Regardless of how we got there, we got there. And you don't have a passport, so what's up? Like, I'm confused. Like, I don't understand why it is that people feel the need to speak on what it is that other people are doing so much so. So I'm just ending this video in this way, I guess, to say that you are absolutely right. And it doesn't hurt my feelings because I've said it 100 times. And maybe if, just if, you took a moment to talk to me, text me, call me, or even just listen to what I have to say on my YouTube channel, which is the whole reason that I created this platform, as opposed to only seeing what you see on Facebook or Instagram or what my mama reposts, you would know that yes, the primary reason behind why I travel so much is because of my job. Yes. If you didn't have to pay for flights, wouldn't you travel more too? I would assume that the answer to that question is yes. And yes, my sister is my companion, which means she gets to experience that as well. I don't see how that's supposed to be a dig, but I know how y'all operate, so that I know that that is the way that it was intended and the way that it was relayed to us. But okay, Ann. So yeah, it's officially March 1st, and I highly recommend going into this new month minding about our business and our business only, because I think that would make you a much happier and less miserable person. Because what are we even talking about? What are we even talking about? Yeah, that's enough of that. I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all in the next video.